Good morning, everyone. Today indeed is a special day as we are celebrating poetry. We are honoring poets and their works, and at the same time are also appreciating the creative spirit of human mind. I would like to begin with the words of an anonymous poet. I live in a maze of words. The empty papers of my book are always filled up with my unsaid emotions. I am a never ending poetry written by me. We begin today's program by lighting the ceremonial lamp and singing the school prayer.
आत्मदीप जलाओ अपने मन मंदिर में आत्मदीप जलाओ आत्मदीप जलाओ कोटि सूर्य सम तेज स्वरूपा कोटि सूर्य सम तेज स्वरूपा अपने मन में दिव्य स्वरूपा अपने मन में दिव्य स्वरूपा आत्मदीप जलाओ आत्मदीप जलाओ दिव्य ज्योति ज्ञान ज्योति प्रेम ज्योत जलाओ आत्मदीप जलाओ आत्मदीप जलाओ
The Interhouse Elocution Competition is an eagerly awaited event by the students of the Heritage School. We are extremely honored to have our own ex-students as our judges with us today. Ma'am Sukanya Mukherjee graduated from the Heritage School in 2012. She took part in the debates actively at the Heritage School. Her favorite subjects as a student were mathematics, English, and geography. She went on to study economics and mathematics and is currently a wealth curator. She works with various derivatives and asset classes in financial markets. Ma'am Mohini Ganguly graduated from the Heritage School in 2011. Apart from excelling in academics, she has been a prefect for Chanakya House at school. She studied English at JU and then sustainability studies at TIS, Mumbai. She is currently working as a public policy researcher. May I now request Principal Ma'am to say a few words?
Children. And it so happens that till 2019 or even till 2020 March, we were physically in school and everybody would share the excitement and wish you all the very best. Your friends, your classmates, your house teachers. And then, of course, there would be a whole lot of uh, practice sessions where teachers will they took you to different classrooms, and then there was a rehearsal on stage. But now, for the last 2 years, we're just sitting at home, and your parents have been guiding you, hand holding you, training you, and of course, virtually your teachers are training you, but your parents are with you. So I hope you will not forget to thank your parents today after you finish with your elocution. So children, all the very best, and we do hope that the best house wins and the best, most deserving child wins. All the very best, children. Do well. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words. Without any further delay, let me wish all the participants best of luck. I'll hand over today's proceedings to the students from Class 4 who will be introducing their classmates and the participants.
Hi, Sajina Goswami will be introducing the participants from Aryabhat House. The first participant for today is K.D. Yadin from Aryabhat House. He will be presenting a poem written by our own English teacher, Devi ma'am. The poem is about a child whose whole day is spent in mishaps.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Kaden Yadin from class 4G representing Aryabhat House. Today, I will be reciting a poem called The Wrong Side of the Bed by Debbie Ma'am. Last Sunday was not my day. I got out on the wrong side of the bed. It was a disaster, a horrible day. For once, I thank God it's Monday. Yesterday, just as I woke up and was about to go to the loo, I slipped and fell on something. It was my little puppy's poo. That was just an accident for him, as he never behaved so. The fool, I think, disagreed, but for me, it was a blow. Sunday breakfast is always special, as Mummy makes apple crumble. But Daddy wanted to make it grand, as he wanted to try his hand. He made for us some beer drink with orange juice that looked pink. As I took a gentle sip, I screamed out, "Oh, I burnt my lip!" The toasted sandwich was no better. I took a bite, but it was bitter. Daddy asked me, "Who was the food?" "Superb," I said. "It's really good." I didn't want to disappoint Dad, as he seemed to be feeling glad. The afternoon was spent doing homework, as I had to complete my project work. No one was there to help me with my map, as they all enjoyed their afternoon nap. In the evening, at the mall, I wanted to buy a special ball. Daddy said he had no money, and Mommy said she will buy me. Only if I do well in my test and collect a few certificates. At last, it was time to sleep. I jumped into my bed as I heard a gentle beep. I saw a frog on my bed! "Oh God! Help!" I yelled. Daddy came with sticks and a rock. Mommy was white with shock. My little brother laughed out of joy. It was only his new plastic toy. Thank God, the day is over. For once, I think school is better. But I still look forward to my weekend and have fun with family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaden. Now, we have Spandan Purkayat from Aryabhat House. His poem conveys a grandma's enthusiasm about climbing trees.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Spandan Purkayat from Class 4C. I am representing the Aryabhat House. Grandma Climbs a Tree by Ruskin Bond. My grandmother was a genius. You'd like to know why? Because she could climb trees, spreading or high. She's be up their branches in a trice. And mind you, when last she climbed a tree, she was 62. Ever since childhood, she had this gift for being happier in a tree than in a lift. And though as years went by, she would be told that climbing trees should stop when one grew old, and that growing old should be gone about gracefully. She'd laugh and say, "Well, I'll grow old disgracefully. I can do it better." And we had to agree for in all the garden there wasn't a tree she hadn't been up at one time or another, having learned to climb from a loving brother when she was 6. But it was feared by all that one day she had a terrible fall. The outcome was different. While we were in town, she climbed a tree and couldn't come down. We went to the rescue, and then the doctor took Granny's temperature and said, I strongly recommend a quiet week in bed. We sighed with relief and tucked her up well. Poor Granny, for her it was like a brief season in hell, confined to her bedroom, while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves. But she held her peace till she felt stronger, then sat up and said, I'll lie here no longer. And she called for my father and told him undaunted, the house in a treetop was what she had wanted. My dad knew his duties. He said, that's all right. You have what you want, dear. I'll start work tonight. With my expert assistance, he soon finished the chore, made her a tree house with windows and a door. So Granny moved up, and now every day I climb to her room with glasses and tray. She sits there in state and drinks sherry with me, upholding her right to reside in a tree. Thank you.
I, Aishani Mukherjee, will be introducing the participants from Chanakya House, and we have Sharanya Bihani presenting her poem. She will list all the possible excuses for not turning one's science homework in.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharanya Bihani and I am from class 4G. Today, I am going to represent the Chanakya House and I am going to recite the poem Science Homework by Ken Nesbitt. I hope that you believe me, for I wouldn't tell a lie. I cannot turn my science homework in, and this is why. I messed up the assignment that you gave us yesterday. It burbled from its test tube and went slithering away. It wriggled off the table and it landed with a splat, convulsed across my bedroom floor and terrorized the cat. It shambled down the staircase with a horrid glopping noise. It wobbled to the family room and gobbled on my toys. It tumbled to the kitchen and digested every plate. That slimy blob enlarged with every item that it ate. It writhed around the living room, digesting lamps and chairs, then snuck up on a napping dog and got him unawares. I came to school upset today. My head's in such a fog. But this is my excuse. You see, my homework ate my dog. Thank you.
Now let us hear Tanusha Banerjee from Chanakya House. Her poem showcases every household dilemma where parents do not allow children to watch TV.
Good afternoon, respected Principal Ma'am, my dear teachers, and my dear friends. I am Tanusha Banerjee from Class 4G and I am representing Chanakya House. I would be reciting the poem Turn Off the TV by Bruce Lansky. Turn off the TV. My father gets quite mad at me. My mother gets upset. When they catch me watching our new television set, my father yells, turn that thing off. My mother says, it's time to study. I'd rather watch my favorite TV show with my best buddy. I sneak down after homework and turn the set on low. But when she sees me watching it, my mother yells out, no! My father says, If you don't turn that thing off, I'll hang it from a tree. I rather doubt he'll do it, cause he watches more than me. He watches sports all weekend and weekday evenings too. While munching chips and pretzels, the room looks like a zoo. So, if he ever got the nerve to hang it from a tree, he'd spend a lot of time up there watching it with me. Thank you.
Next, we have Akshita Elmil from Dronacharya House. In this current pandemic, TB seems to be a universal problem with everyone. And probably that's what has made this poem a popular choice.
Good morning, everyone present here. I am Akshita Almar from Dronacharya House. I will be reciting the poem Turn Off the TV by Bruce Lansky. My father gets quite mad at me. My mother gets upset when they catch me watching our new television set. My father yells, "Turn that thing off." Mom says it's time to study. I'd rather watch my favorite TV show with my best buddy. I sneak down after homework and turn the set on low. But when she sees me watching it, my mother yells out, "No!" Dad says, "If you don't turn it off, I'll hang it from a tree." I rather doubt he'll do it, 'cause he watches more than me. He watches sports all weekend and weekday evenings too. While munching chips and pretzels, the room looks like a zoo. So, if he ever got the nerve to hang it from a tree, he'd spend a lot of time up there watching it with me. Thank you.
Now let us hear Hera Hassan from Dronacharya House. I think most of us students feel anxious when we meet our teachers outside our classrooms, and our poem expresses just that.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and our dear friends. I am Hira Hassan from Class 4G and I represent the Dronacharya House. Today, I will be reciting a poem named Saw My Teacher on a Saturday. Poet Anonymous. Saw my teacher on a Saturday? I can't believe it's true. I saw her buying groceries like normal people do. She reached for bread and turned around. And then she caught my eye. She gave a smile and said, "Hello." I thought that I would die. "Oh, hi. Hello, Miss Appleton." I mumbled like a fool. I guess I thought that teacher type spend all their time at school. To make the situation worse, my mom was at my side. So many rows of jars and cans, so little room to hide. "Oh, please," I thought, "don't tell my mom what I did yesterday." I closed my eyes and held my breath and hoped she'd go away. Some people think it's fine to let our teachers walk about. But when it comes to Saturdays, they shouldn't let them out. Thank you.
Now we have Ahana Singh from Patanjali House. There is no denying that TV is an integral part of every household. And this poem is a funny account of that.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahana Singh from class 4D. Today I will recite a poem named Turn Off the TV by Bruce Lansky. My father gets quite mad at me. My mother gets upset when they catch me watching a new television set. My father yells, "Turn that thing off!" My mother says, "It's time to study." I'd rather watch my favorite TV show with my best buddy. I sneak down after homework and turn the set on low. But when she sees me watching it, my mother yells out, "No!" My father says, "If you don't turn it off, I'll hang it from a tree." I'd rather that he'll do it because he watches more than me. He watches sports all weekend and weekdays evenings too. While munching chips and pretzels, the room looks like a zoo. But if ever he got the nerve to hang it from a tree, he'd spent a lot of time up there watching it with me. Thank you.
The last contestant for today is Lavya Jumrani from Patanjali House. His poem emphasizes on the fact that idioms cannot be taken seriously.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lavya Jumrani. I am from class 4G Patanjali House. Today I am going to recite a poem called Idioms by John Brown. Oh, they sound kind of crazy, but they're sure lots of fun. When we talk to one another and use idioms, we know what they mean, but they don't mean what they say. Oh, those idioms. We hear them every day. There's a frog in my throat and as busy as a bee. That's no skin off my nose. You might be barking up the wrong tree. My mom has a heart of a gold. This job is a piece of a cake. Some things fishy I've been told. Don't take me on a wild goose chase. My dad has a big green thumb. He is always pulling my leg. You'd better hold your tongue. And my best friend is a really good egg. Sometimes I have ants in my pants. And the early bird catches the worm. Let's put on our thinking caps. It's really fun to learn that they sound kind of crazy, but they're sure lots of fun. When we talk to one another and use idioms, we know what they mean, but they don't mean what they say. Oh, those idioms, we hear them every day. Thank you.
I, Karna Sethia, am eagerly awaiting to hear the results for today's elocution. But for now, let us hear a few more poems while the scores are being tallied by our esteemed judges. First up, we have Samarth Agarwal from Aryabhat House. He will be presenting a nonsense poetry about an owl and a pussy cat.
Good morning, everyone. I am Samarth Agarwal of Class 4F, and I shall be reciting The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above, sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh pussy my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are, what a beautiful pussy you are. Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the balm tree grows, and there in the woods a piggy wig stood with a ring at the end of his nose. His nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for a shilling your ring?" said the pig. "I will." So they took it away and were married the next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon. The moon, they danced by the light of the moon. Thank you.
Coming up next is Anika Bose from Chanakya House. Her poem is all about a child who wants to not only meet an alien but also get it home.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anika Bose and I am from class 4C representing Chanakya House. Today, I am going to recite a poem called "I'd Like to Meet an Alien" by Ken Nesbitt. I'd like to meet an alien. Yeah, wouldn't that be neat? I'm sure there's not another creature I would rather meet. I wouldn't care if he was big or medium or tiny, or if his skin was rough and tough, or super smooth and shiny. I'd like him if his head were bald or covered up with hair. I'd like him if his face were round, triangular, or square. He could be colored black and white, or yellow, red, and green. He might be awfully dirty or meticulously clean. I'd like him if he whispered, and I'd like him if he yelled. I'd like him if he used perfume or positively smelled. It wouldn't matter much to me if he was soft or scaly, or if he danced the rumba or played the ukulele. He could look like a lizard or be furry and mammalian. I'd simply like to scare my mom by bringing home an alien. Thank you.
Now we have Adrita Kayal from Dronacharya House. Her poem is about a mummy who decides to take a vacation and what happens thereafter.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Adrita Kayal of Class 4B representing Dronacharya House. Today I am going to recite Melvin the Mummy by Ken Nesbitt. Melvin the Mummy, who lived near the Nile, had worked as a mummy for more than a while. For mummies can go their entire careers without a vacation for thousands of years. He guarded the pyramids day after day to frighten the burglars and bandits away, which meant, as he stood watching over the pharaohs, he often got shot at with bullets and arrows. His job was so stressful, the pay was so poor. But still, Melvin stayed and protected the door until he got sick of his sad situation and knew that he needed to take a vacation. His crypt was so dark and so cold and so clammy. He packed up his swimsuit and flew to Miami. He thought he would stay there for just a few days, enjoying the beach and absorbing some rays. But sadly, poor Melvin would never return. And this is a lesson all mummies should learn. Don't take any trips, or like Melvin, you will find vacations make Mummies, relax and unwind. Thank you.
Last but not the least, we have Mishka Agarwal from Patanjali House. Her poem is an imaginative take on what one can eat, wear, or do if the world went crazy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mishka Agarwal from Class 4A from Patanjali House. Today I am going to recite the poem If the World Was Crazy by Shel Silverstein. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd eat? A big slice of soup and a whole quart of meat. A lemonade sandwich, and then I might try some roasted ice cream or a bicycle pie. A nice notebook salad and underwear roast. An omelette of hats and some crisp cardboard toast. A thick malted milk made from pencils and daisies. And that's what I'd eat if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd wear? A chocolate suit and a tie of eclair. Some marshmallow earmuffs, some licorice shoes. And I'd read a paper of peppermint news. I'd call the boy Susie and I'd call the girl Harry. I'd talk through my ears and I always would carry a paper umbrella for when it grew hazy. To keep in the rain if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd do? I'd walk on the ocean and swim in my shoe. I'd fly through the ground and I'd skip through the air. I'd run down the bathtub and I'd bathe on the stair. When I met somebody, I'd say goodbye, Joey. And when I was leaving, then I'd say hello. And the greatest of men would be silly and lazy. So I would be king if the world was crazy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mishka. May I now request Suvarna ma'am to take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Karna. All three of you presented the show so well. May I now request our esteemed judges to share their thoughts. Ma'am Sukanya Mukherjee, could we kindly begin with you?
Hi. Sorry, I was working and then I came here, so I look like a mess. But anyway, I used to do elocution, and I always forgot my poem every time. So I'm very impressed. And I hope none of you cheated with like the poem stuck somewhere and you're just reading it as you go. If you did, lots of respect. You're going to go very far in life. Figure out these little tricks when you have advantages. Honestly, I was a little bit scared that you would be reciting the poems that I grew up reciting, and that didn't happen. So I'm very happy people have new poems that they're reciting, and all of you did really well. And yeah, I'm sure it's very boring sitting at home, but yeah, keep it up and keep reciting, move into other forms of public speaking as well. It's fun. It's good to challenge yourself.
I'm so happy to be here today, and I must say that you guys, I'm sure you couldn't hear me, but I've been clapping after every poem because all of you were so good. I mean, the poems chosen were amazing. I must say my personal favorite was The Owl and the Pussycat because that's something I've loved when I was a kid. But I would say that most of the poems were unknown to me and they were fantastic. And like so much feeling everyone put into, and I know how difficult it can be to really put yourself out there and put in those emotions and thoughts. And I wouldn't say that anyone was like, I think like, everyone can see from my scores that it was very difficult for me to decide who would go better because all of you were so great, including those who did the little bits after the official competition. And Sukanya was right that at your age we really weren't this good and this clear about our elocution. I think, as you can see, that we still stumble. The amount of feeling all of you put into your, I mean, I'm afraid I don't know each of you individually, or I would give, like, congratulate all of you one by one, but really brilliant. And I also really like the fact that everyone chose funny poems that are relatable, that really, that you can understand from your heart, because that really showed when all of you were speaking. Thank you so much, and thank you for having us also.
Thank you, both Sukanya ma'am and Mohini ma'am, for your encouraging words. It is time to hear the results. Could I please request Headmaster Sir and Headmistress ma'am to do the honors?
Before we give out the results, congratulations to all of you, because you are the best of, I think, 200 children that were there. And thank you for the two MCs. Who are these two? Karnav and who was the other one?
Sir, there are three.
Where are they? One was Karnav.
Eshani, please unmute yourself.
Eshani, are you there?
And Spandan.
And Spandan.
Spandan. Okay, you are very, very good. I think you people also good.
Sidran.
Sorry, Sidran.
Okay. All right. Are you ready for your results? Okay, all of you came first. Terrific.
We start with the fourth position. In the fourth position, we have Spandan Purkait from Aryabhat House. Congratulations, Spandan.
Thank you, ma'am.
In the third position from Dronacharya House, we have Akshita Almal. Congratulations.
Yay. In the second position, we have Lavya Jumrani from Patanjali House. Congratulations, Lavya.
So, thank you, ma'am.
Now, who shall I give the first prize to? So, I'll give it to our ex-students. Because their speeches were impromptu. They didn't mug up anything. So, in any case, here comes the first position to Ahana Singh from Patanjali House. Wow, it is yellow all the way. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to all the participants. As Headmaster Sir said, all of you are winners. It must have been very difficult for Mohini and Sukanya to give their judgments. And thank you, Mohini and Sukanya, for giving your time and encouraging all the little children here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shashi ma'am, Suvarna ma'am, and all the other teachers, Nandini ma'am, Ishita ma'am, Nayan ma'am, Tanushri ma'am, Sharmita ma'am, Priyadarshini ma'am. I'm sorry if I'm missing out somebody. All of you teachers, you have been great training the children, organizing the show. It was brilliant.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am, Headmaster Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, and all the coordinators and Team Heritage. I would also like to thank the judges for taking out their valuable time for this special event. Thank you, Nayan Ma'am, Ishita Ma'am, and Tanushri Ma'am for your support. I would like to say a very special thank you to Shaumitra Sir, Pani Sir, and his entire team for valuable inputs and technical coordination and support. Thank you, Team Heritage, for being such a great team.